going to have a go at customizing, making some changes that are going to affect the entire site. So when you take a theme, and there are thousands of themes out there, the 2017, 2016 is just two of them, but you'll find just a zillion themes. If you just search for WordPress themes, you'll find them and you should be able to install them. You are picking up kind of the layout and the fonts and the CSS styling. I'm not keen on this underlining. I like the color blue, and I quite like the change of color when I click on this, but I don't particularly want underlining, and I'm going to have a go at changing the CSS in this theme. Now, this is quite a dangerous thing to do, but with how we're brave. Okay, I notice that one's not underlined, but this one here is underlined and I don't like it. If I click on it and go back, the color hasn't changed. I quite like the color to change as well, but let's get rid of the underlining first. I want to know how that's done. The details for this will be in the theme. I'm going to investigate, see who's putting that underlining on. So I inspect that element, and it's opened over here. So I can see that's an A tag, and it is being affected by this rule here, which is in CSS style, and that CSS style there. So that's affecting it. CSS style, what's its actual address? I was looking for the address of this CSS styling. Let me do that again. Right click, inspect, and there I can see the full address. It's WordPress WP Content Themes 2016. So if I'm in WordPress already, so I'm in the WordPress directory, but let me get there. So public HTML, WordPress, WP Content, I think it was. I can see this address just by hovering over here. WP Content Themes 2016. CD themes, and you can see the themes I started with are these ones here, and I could add more themes if I wanted to. I can just download them and unpack them. So each of these themes will have a whole load of files in them. Let's have a quick look at the 2016, that's what we're doing. 2016, you can see there's lots of files in there, and you can, if you find yourself a theme online, you can just create that directory and use that theme once you've created it. That's themes. Let's go into CD, but I'm going to try and customize the 2016 theme, and I think the file was styles.css, and it even gave me the line number. That looks like, click on that, that is 757, so let's go to line 757, that's quite a big file. Alright, and there's that. What is doing the underlining? The underlining, I have to go back and inspect again. Inspect, there's that text decoration. That's on line 737. So 737, and that's got text decoration none. Let's try commenting that out. So let's comment out that line and see what happens. Let's reload. No, not that one. This one. Reload. Okay, I've made it a whole lot worse. Can you see it looks like it's double underlined now? And that's because I stupidly undid the text decoration none. Text decoration usually is the default value for text decoration for an A node is underline, and if you say none, that takes it off. And so by removing that line, I put the underlining back on again. So I was looking at entirely the wrong thing. How have they done that underlining? That underlining isn't done. Let me save that. Underlining hasn't been done by underlining. Someone's used some other clever technique. Often they will set a bottom border. So setting a bottom border looks the same as underlining. Let's see if that's what they've done. Inspect. Okay. not seeing borders. Looking through, these are all the things that have affected the A tag, and it doesn't look like this is turning off underlining. That's setting the background color transparent, which is pretty redundant. Here's a neat thing. If I look at that, what I could do is take off that rule and instantly see, can you see it's underlined stuff? So I could have saved myself some effort by noticing that that didn't have the effect I wanted. Okay, box shadow. That could be doing it, but that's box shadow none. This is box shadow current color. Okay, so if I take off that box shadow, that's removing the underlining. So that's the line I want to get rid of. Okay, so put it back on again and go to line 757. That was there before, I think. 757. Okay, so I've undone the previous change. Yes, box shadow, that is complicated, but it looks like that box shadow is how it is being underlined. So if I comment that out, so comment out that CSS and see if that gets rid of the underlining. Yes, it has. Okay, that's one way to do it. I'm a bit uncomfortable changing the theme. Themes kind of come and go, but they do get updated sometimes. So if I make a change to that, then I've lost the chance of updating if the theme author wants to publish a change. That would interfere. So I'm uncomfortable about changing that directly. I think there is a way to add my own CSS rules. I've lost my site. Can I go back to it? Or press forward? No, it's gone. Let's go back to my site. And I should still be logged in. Yes, I am. Let's go to the dashboard. And I want to look at the appearance. Let's make this a bit bigger. It looks different at different sizes. So appearance, I can customize. All right. So background image, that might be a useful thing to change. And colors, yeah, I guess I can change loads of colors there. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go for additional CSS. Okay, so I can put in my own CSS. So if I put in my own CSS, can I put in CSS to get rid of this underlining? What I've got to do is come up with a rule that overwrites their one. So that would mean I haven't changed their style.css. So I haven't gone into, so I don't go in, I don't change this thing here, I leave it as it is. So I quit that editor, step away from the editor, and try and come up with a rule that will override this one. I'm regretting that. I'm going to go back in and look at it. Okay, so it was 757. That was the rule. So I'm looking for a rule that will take off box shadow. Don't know how to take off box shadow. Let's have a look. CSS, box shadow, and MDN. So, oh no, not that. MDN. Phew, that was a blast from the past. Okay. Initial value, none. Right. So if I can put in box shadow none, let's reload that. Yep. So if I can do box shadow none, that should overwrite it. So how do I find that kind of element? The trick here is to come up with a rule that is more specific than the one they've given. So they've said anything that's got entry content, and entry content seems to be the one. The node that I'm looking for is in a div called entry content. So if I come up with a rule that's slightly more specific than entry content, then that would do the job. Let's try and manufacture that. So entry header, that begins and ends. I'm looking for something so I can, what I'm saying is that if I say dot entry content, actually that on its own will probably do it. If I say entry content A and then box shadow none, that rule on its own should override the existing rule. Is that changing as I type? Surely not. Wow, how cool is that? Okay, so as I type it, it updates it instantly. Wow. Okay, that's neat. All right, so I'll put the additional CSS, and as I'm typing that CSS in, it's actually doing it. That's just magic. Let's save and publish. And I'm tempted not even to bother checking, but why the hell not? Okay, that was a seriously messed up one. Let's reload and see what it's looking like now. Oh, that was me doing control reload, and that opens it in a new tab. That's slightly different behavior of Firefox. How do I do a hard reload in Firefox? Paste and go. No, just go reload. Okay, clicking the reload button seemed to do it. It's taken away that underlining. I hope you can see that. So that is a preferable way. Why did this rule override the other rule? The other rule we saw from developer tools, was it this one? No, don't think so. I think it was this one. So the rule we had before was dot entry content space A, comma, and then a whole bunch of other rules. So simply because I made up a rule on its own without a comma, without other things in there, then my rule, my new rule, overrode that rule because I'm being more specific. That's the way the cascade works. So there are all these other cases I guess I should worry about that are going to be underlining the text that I don't want to underline, but I'm not worrying about them right now. Okay, that's good. Next thing we'll do is see how we can put in our own JavaScript.